Welcome to Power Code Music. In this presentation, we're going to review and analyze the differences between the Alesis Strike drum module and the Alesis DM10 first generation drum module. Founded in 1980, Alesis is currently based in Cumberland, Rhode Island, but their products are made in China. When the company started, its innovative technology and designs allowed both entry-level musicians as well as recording artists to afford professional studio recording products that were previously too expensive. Now, this quickly made Alesis very popular and one of my favorite pro audio companies. Unfortunately, Alesis fell on hard times and filed for bankruptcy back in 2001. Alesis was then purchased by now parent company InMusic. InMusic owns other brands such as Akai, M Audio, Marantz, Denon, Newmark, and many more. In this presentation, we'll first do an overview of the features of both the Alesis Strike drum module and the Alesis DM10 drum module. Then we're going to exploit and analyze the differences between the two units so that you can get an idea of what unit may work best for your individual needs. So with this, sit back, relax, grab your coffee and tea, and stay with me because we have a lot of information to cover and you're not going to want to miss it, especially the information towards the end of this presentation. With this, I strongly suggest that you know your requirements first. Know what you need. Now, this will be a key in meeting your objectives when purchasing or upgrading to a drum kit module that best fits your specific needs. Before we look at the summary and features of both the Alesis Strike and DM10 drum modules, you may first want to ask yourself the following questions. Do I need a drum module that will allow me to record audio samples that I can use in my music? Do I need a drum module with a built-in sequencer so I can record with it? Do I need a drum module that will allow me to build a completely custom kit from samples that I record or upload? If you're shopping for a different drum module for your electronic kit, your answers to these questions may help you determine which unit may work best for you. The reason why I chose these two drum modules is because I've owned them both and migrated directly to the Strike from the DM10 first generation unit. With this, there were some major differences with these modules that were very important. Both the Strike and the DM10 first generation drum modules have been discontinued by Alesis. However, the Alesis Strike module may be found between $600 and $800 online. The DM10 first generation unit may be found online used between $400 and $600. We'll begin with an overview of the Alesis Strike drum module's features. The unit has 136 preset kits and 1,800 instruments and 45,000 samples. It has a 4.3-inch color display and 12 trigger inputs for Alesis and other electronic drum triggers. It includes a variable hi-hat pedal input and a built-in mixer that has 12 individual faders to cover your control of your drum sound. So with this, there are 2 1/4-inch TRS main audio outputs, 8 individual 1/4-inch TRS outputs, and 1 1/4-inch headphone output with a separate metronome sound. There is an external SD card slot for saving and loading user kits, instruments, and so on. The unit has a built-in sampler to edit and assign your own sounds to a kit. You can build your own kit with this thing. There is a 1 1/4-inch auxiliary audio input for connecting and recording external music and playback devices, and a MIDI 5-pin DIN and USB MIDI is included as well. There is Strike software editor for Windows and Mac that will allow you to create your own custom kits and instruments. Now we'll check out an overview of the Alesis DM10 first generation drum module's features. The unit has 1,000 sounds with presets and customizable kits. There's 1,047 preset sounds and 100 preset kits, which all can be overwritten. The cool thing about the module is that it has a built-in sequencer with 100 patterns. The patterns are broken down by 75 presets and 25 user patterns, which all can be overwritten. And it includes play-along tracks and recording. The unit also has an iPod mix input and 12 trigger inputs for expansion. The unit has high-speed USB for MIDI and computer transfer, and this is important because the unit does not have an SD card slot, so this is the only way you're going to get data in and out of the unit. And again, keep in mind this USB port is also for MIDI as well if you want to hook it up to a DAW. The unit has a built-in mixer for balancing drums, cymbals, toms, and other samples, and a mix input for practicing with a CD or MP3 player. Audio inputs consist of 2 RCA inputs, and the trigger inputs consist of 12 quarter-inch TRS. There's one hi-hat controller input, which is a quarter-inch input, and for MIDI, there is an additional in and out, which are 2 5-pin DIN ports. Audio outputs consist of 2 quarter-inch balanced stereo main outs and stereo aux assignable outs, which are also 2 quarter-inch balanced TRS. Last but not least is there's a headphone output, which is a stereo output and a quarter-inch TRS output. Finally, we'll analyze the differences between the Alesis Strike Pro and the Alesis DM10 drum modules. On your screen, we have a chart with 3 columns. The first column is the specification column, the second column is the Strike Performance Drum Module column, and the last column is the DM10 High Definition Drum Module column. Now what we're going to do is we're going to start with the specification column, and we are going to go down row by row and analyze the differences between the 2 modules. Now anything in the specifications column that has an asterisk before the row name means that there is a difference between the drum modules on that specific row. So with this, let's start with the specifications column and the first row, which is kits. The Strike Performance Drum Module has 136 kits, and it's only limited by its SD card size. The DM10 is limited to 100 kits. The next row is sounds in the specification column, and the Strike has 1,800 sounds, 45,000 samples. DM10 has 1,047 instrument samples. The third row in specifications is the onboard sampler. The Strike has an onboard sampler, and it allows you to record, edit, save, assign samples, and do a number of other things. The DM10 does not have an onboard sampler. The only way that you can get data or samples in and out of the device is via the USB port and cable. So currently there are no new sounds available for the DM10. The next row in specifications is effects. And you'll notice that the Strike and DM10, they all have the same effects, except that the Strike has a doubler effect. The DM10 does not have that specific effect. The next row is the SD card storage. Strike has an SD and SDHC card slot, and the DM10 does not have an SD card slot. The next row in specifications is the trigger inputs. And as you can see, both drum modules are identical in this area. Next is the analog input row. The Strike has 1 quarter-inch aux in, and the DM10 has 2 RCA inputs. What follows is, or should I say the next row, is the analog inputs. And as you can see here, the Strike has 8 quarter-inch TRS drum outs and 2 quarter-inch TRS main outs. The DM10 has 2 quarter-inch TRS balance aux assignable outs and 2 quarter-inch TRS balance main outs. The next row in specifications is the headphones. As you can see here, both the Strike and DM10 are identical in this area. Next, we have the MIDI in and out row. And again, both of the drum modules are identical in this area. The next row in specifications is the mixer. The Strike Pro has 16 faders up front for control of all your devices at once. The DM10 has 6 faders up front for control of your devices, and you have to toggle to reach the next set of 6. So this is pretty different between the two. You have to toggle to get to everything back and forth on the DM10, but on the Strike, everything is right there in front of you, so you don't have to toggle anything. The next row on the specifications is the MIDI synchronization. The Strike does not have MIDI synchronization. However, the DM10, because of its sequencer, does. You have transmit and receive and MMC controls such as start, stop, and continue. The next row under specifications is USB, and both of the sound modules are identical in this area. The next row is onboard sequencer. The Strike does not have an onboard sequencer, but the DM10 does. DM10 has 75 preset patterns, 25 user patterns, and you can see all the specifications there, or at least most of the specifications there for the DM10 sequencer. The next row is a metronome, and both drum modules are identical in that area. The next row under specifications is the software. The Strike has a software editor that you can download from the Alesis website. It's currently available at the time of this video. And the DM10 does also have a editor, but it's no longer available for Alesis' website. So you might have to check the web to see where you can find that. The next row under specifications is the display. The Strike has a very nice full color LED display, far superior to that of the DM10. The DM10 has a LCD display, and it really can't compare to the Strikes. Last but not least is under specifications is the power row, and the Strike has a 12 volt DC power supply, and the DM10 has a 9 volt AC power supply. So there you have it, a summary of the differences between the Alesis Strike and the Alesis DM10 drum modules. In summary, both are quality professional units that can produce superior audio. Again, it's important that you know your electronic kit requirements before you purchase or upgrade. Just because something may appear to be more advanced doesn't mean it's the right fit for the way you need to record to be the most productive. The bottom line here is, a tool that works great for one person may not be the best device for another. So remember to stay focused on the things that you need. Well, my friends, that's a wrap. If you like this presentation, please give it the thumbs up and click the subscribe button on your screen now to join our group. We have new presentations coming out every 7 to 14 days, and we would love to have you be a part of our team. Also, leave a comment in the comments section. Let us know what you think about this video, and check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Spotify. While you're here, listen to some of the other music and check out some of the other videos and the playlists. Thank you so much for stopping by. We really do appreciate it, and we look forward to seeing you soon.